The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 244. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady on the show today. She is a coach, and she's also currently doing a startup, and I'm just really excited to have her on and share her story. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Clare Wimmer. Clare, how are you doing today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Great. Thank you very much for having me on your show. My name is Clare Wimmer. I am Chinese born, American raised, and I currently live in Germany. Since I've been here, my background is corporate consulting and finance. And about 3.5 years ago, I decided that is not the life I want. And I wrote a business plan for my startup. And as a supplement, I also started coaching. What this has evolved into effectively is my startup is currently in funding phase. So I'm going out, I'm talking about women, fashion, and my startup is about fashion. It's called Fabusco.com. Effectively what it is it's a style book, and you can go online, check it out, and you can browse through and see what people from around the world are wearing to give you inspiration of how to dress. As such, the background with this is it's a women-only company. It's e-commerce for women by women. Our goal is to empower girls so that they can find clothes not from models, but from other girls like themselves around the world. Through that, I've also started presenting what it means to be a woman in the VC or startup business and what the difficulties of starting your own business can be.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing all that info. And I love what you're doing with the Fabusco because, women, we have to learn to, we're great at, putting ourselves as someone who's relatable, especially because we feel like we're always alone. So when you're showcasing women who have kind of like the same styles, it helps other women to realize like it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to dress a certain way that you want. So, I just think that's a great thing that you're doing. And Clare, what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
Just do it. I know it's totally cliche, but just do it and go for it and stand behind it, whatever decision you make. I think the hardest thing for women, especially, and this is a conversation I have with a lot of my male counterparts, is that we make a decision and we go back on it and we question ourselves whether or not this was a good decision or a bad decision. And I think that's what's hampering us versus a lot of our male counterparts will make a decision and stick with it and trust in themselves that they made the good decision. And I think for women, one of our problems is maybe a little bit of a self-doubt and questioning the decision we've made. So I am a big believer that if you made this decision, if you have done it, just do it, just go for it and see what happens. And no one can blame you for that. So
I love the quote that you mentioned, and it's true. As women, we're so great at second guessing ourselves, kind of overanalyzing everything, thinking everything has to be perfect. If not, then we're considered a failure and then we stop. And, it's just like this whole cycle. And, the moment we just let go of all that and just do it and just keep on, going for that goal, no matter what happens, that's when we can get the results. So love the quote that you mentioned. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
I think self-confidence is knowing who you are and being able to really believe in yourself. What I mean by this is, as I went to a women's college, I went to Barnard College at Columbia. And I think one of the things I learned there is that when you walk into a room and there's a lot of other girls, we judge each other. And I think we're harsher on each other than men will ever be on us. And so because of that, the self-confidence has to come from self-awareness, being aware of who you are and who you are around and how you are projected, so that when you leave that room, what people think of you. And I think that being aware of that will give you the most confidence. And of course, through my startup, a lot of it has to do with clothes. Wearing maybe designer shoes will make you feel a lot better, but sometimes it doesn't. It really is up to you and how you feel about yourself and your self-awareness in the situation you're in.
Awesome. And I love that definition that you mentioned. And, it's so true. Guys don't really compare themselves like how women are. Guys don't say, oh my God, his calves are so big.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like,
they would never do that.
like when you picture it, it just sounds really funny.
Yeah.
I just had that in my head thinking, yeah, guys don't really do that. So love that definition that you mentioned. And, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
I think when I wouldn't say I think anyone who's ever known me my entire life will always say one of my faults is that I'm a little too self-confident to the point of almost borderline arrogance. Just because I'm like, oh, I can do that and I can do anything. And I think what really changed is my self-awareness of what my surroundings were and what my mission in life was. And I had an incredible career consulting and I was making over six figures, but I wasn't a very happy person. And I had to take a couple steps back, reassess. And now, I'm doing a startup and I have my own coaching business. So in the last 2.5 years, I've basically had no source of real income and I've been spending my own income. Or savings, I should say. And so a lot of my old banking friends are like, what is she doing? She's crazy. She's not making any money. What is she doing? And my standard of living went down and everything. But 3 years out, I have my two businesses, both are relatively successful in their own way. And I have a nice reputation where people like yourselves have found me online. And I'm going around and I'm talking to people about being self-confident, being who they are, and also just trying to start a business if they want to start a business. So for me, it's a bit of realizing what confidence is and that confidence of being behind the decision you make and how you execute it.
Wow, thanks for sharing that. And it's crazy, like when you're on this journey to be your own boss or to be an entrepreneur, or a lot of people are going to doubt you, right? They're going to think, why did you leave your cushy job? What are you doing? Like you said, people might call you crazy. And, not a lot of people will do what you did, right? Kind of live off of your savings until you got your businesses to be successful and to be where it is today. And, it's great that when I always believe if one person can do it, anyone else can do it. And, now you're here speaking on the podcast, showing others that, you've built not one, but two successful businesses and you keep on helping others to do the same. And, it's just amazing. It's really inspiring because it really just is all about taking action and, like you said, taking back and reassessing what you want and what your mission is all about. And, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey of self-confidence. What'd be that one tip you would give to her?
I think for me, and I can't do any of this without my husband, I think it's to find a network, to find someone that really believes you in everything that you do. Yeah, it's important to be confident in yourself, confident in who you are, but you also need someone else. You need that one person that is your champion. And for some people, it could be their parents, it could be a sibling, it could be, and for me, it's my significant other. I wouldn't be able to do half the things I do. And if I didn't have a husband who supported me every step of the way, and on days where I think I am crazy, I can't believe I did this, my husband will come back and be like, you're doing the right thing. Just keep going and keep fighting. And to have someone like that in your life, regardless of whether or not your businesses are successful, that I think is what everyone really needs, that one person. And like I said, I was lucky to find a husband like that. And some people have their parents or their siblings, but just somebody who unconditionally believes in you, that is important to have in your life.
That's a great tip that you mentioned, and it's true, right? Not every single day we're going to be 100% confident. There's days where we want to hide from the world, just watch Netflix all day and eat ice cream.
Absolutely, for sure.
I've been guilty, and sometimes we just need that person to just tell us, keep going. You may have some hurdles along the way, but you keep on going because you have such a big mission, a big vision to change the world, to do better. So I totally believe in who you surround yourself with is really important. And Claire, if our listeners want to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
So my startup is called Fabusco. It's Fabusco.com. Fabusco.com is my fashion startup. It's where you can see women and women around the world and what they wear. So if you log into that, there's a contact us page, and any one of those forms, you can contact me directly. It will come to me or our PR agent. And then, of course, there's my coaching business. Unfortunately, my coaching business is in German because most of my clientele are Germans going into English-speaking countries. But that is Clare, Clare, Wimmer, WIMMER.com. And then again, anywhere on that contact, that will come directly to me because that's my coaching business. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm happy to show you other works I've done. So feel free to contact me through either of those channels.
Thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Clare, you can also head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Clare's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I really just want to thank Clare for taking the time to share her story with us. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
It was an honor to have you on and share your story. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence. Sign up for our free membership site to get more amazing resources for self-confidence by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.